You're very welcome back to Red Business in Focus, with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices, where we continue to bring you all the business news, speak to inspiring entrepreneurs and share business success stories. This week we're delighted to be joined by Jude O'Flynn, who's going to be filling us in on her family business, which started back in 1989. Her parents, Philip and Catherine. June took over then in 2008, and we're going to be chatting about how the family business has gone from strength to strength over the years. June, how are you?
Great, thanks.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. Philip's Bookshop is the name of the business. So will you give me, in 30 seconds or less, what you do?
Philip's Bookshop is an independent family-run shop which was set up by my parents over 30 years ago. It started off as a small shop just selling books, and over time it was expanded to be a massive shop selling books, gifts, stationery, school supplies, office supplies, a large range of art and craft. So we literally have something for everybody.
A little bit of everything. Good.
Yes.
Under the 30 seconds, but you never told us where the shop is.
In Mallow.
There you have it.
Sorry.
You have to mention Mallow.
Yes, in Mallow, on the main street in
Mallow. You'll
Mallow.
never be able to go back to Mallow if you didn't mention Mallow. I mean, the shop has grown, because I know it, and I've seen how big it's gotten. I mean, did it start out as just the traditional bookshop? It
started out as a very small shop with just books. And then we've moved a number of times. To our last move, we moved in 2019. We bought the old Dunn Stores building on the main street in Mallow. So 5,000 square feet. And everyone was like, how are you going to fill it? And there's no problem filling it.
Yeah. There's all the things you could do.
Yeah, I love shopping. So we'd no issue filling it. And we've loads of different stuff in there.
Book selling has gone through a couple of iterations in the last 2 decades alone. I mean, I love nothing more than wandering around a bookshop. It's just, even if you come out with nothing, you just get a lot from being in a bookshop. But, you know, it's not just about having books on shelves anymore. It's about a customer experience, isn't it?
Yes, people come in and they want to speak to you about books, what you've read, get recommendations. And sometimes they just want to come in and have a chat, and like you said, they don't go away with anything, but they'll come back. So if they appreciate you being there and listening to them, that's what makes the experience. It's not a hard sell. School book or general books, we're not. The minute they come in trying to sell, you don't have to. If someone wants a book, they'll get it. If they don't, they'll come back another day. One
of the funny things that happened during COVID was people had a real love of local bookshops that hadn't been there. I mean, it was like this love had somehow been rekindled, a little bit like from the pages of a novel. Did you benefit from that idea of people wanting to support local?
Massively. I think across the board, people wanted to support local. The first lockdown, we didn't have, which is a very basic website where we were. It wasn't an e-commerce site. So every day it was myself and my mother in there taking calls, people texting us and taking orders over social media, going around with the phone, like giving people virtual tours, trying to pick out stuff. And
I say you love that.
Yeah, it was very time consuming, but like you got to speak to the customers, and a lot of the time they were just delighted to speak to someone outside their house. So it's like, were you stopped by the guards? What's happening in Mallow? Who's on the street? You'd be like, no one, no. So the sales took a long time, because you had to have a big long conversation at the start of every transaction, and then you had to manually put the sale through a Visa machine. It was very time consuming.
So that's where the new website came in. So presumably, is that where the local enterprise office helped you guys out? Because all of a sudden you had this wonderful audience available, but it was hard to get to them.
Yeah, so we were getting to them, but it was just really, really tough. And we'd no staff because everyone was left off in the first lockdown. So by the time the second big lockdown came, the local enterprise office had helped us set up a website, and we were able to keep all our full-time staff on, working behind the scenes. And we've kept an awful lot of trade. Locally, people have gone away from the website. They just look to see what's in stock and what's new, but they'll come into the shop.
They come into the shop. And the whole point is you're a bricks and mortar business still. You have the online sales are going to be there forever, but you still have 5,000 square foot that you need to put things into. Now, you've brought a selection of things with you today, which are lovely. I'm loving the hot air balloon, which is an absolutely brilliant thing to bring into any house. But is this where you see a lot of added value coming into the shop, that people will come for the books and buy this?
They're shocked. They're literally shocked. A lot of people, they knew we were there, and the fact our new premises, we've got a big shop front. In the previous one, we were in a laneway, so you wouldn't see us when you're driving down the street. Whereas now they can see it. People are coming in who would never have come in before, and they're literally blown away. I mean, everyone who comes in for the first time, they feel the need to come up and tell a member of staff how impressed they are, which is amazing. I mean, it's a lovely feeling that it's your shop, and people just feel really happy. They're like, oh my God, we never knew you had this. And a lot of the products we had in the other shop, but it was a lot smaller, so they couldn't see it. Whereas with the big space, you can have a better layout, and it's easier for people to see things.
You know, we look at the online marketplace, really competitive. Big, massive Amazon warehouse is about to open in Dublin. That's going to directly sell into the Irish market. But here you have your loyal customer base still coming to the shop, checking online before they come into the shop, still able to buy online if they want. It sounds like ye have it down right now as to what the customer wants and how you get it to them.
You have to make yourself a destination. To be a bricks and mortar retail, you have to make it somewhere people want to come. And you have to be welcoming, you have to have staff there who know the business and know the products. And I mean, people can always shop online, but they like shopping online, you don't get to meet anyone. The only interaction you have is with the postman. Do you know?
We like our postman.
Yeah, and the
nice
on Puster are amazing. Like, they're brilliant for shops on Puster. Absolutely brilliant. After the local enterprise award, obviously. But you know, if you have a big shop, you need to kind of have it well laid out, and the people will want to come in.
But everybody has their favourite bit of a shop. I mean, from when you were a child going in, I mean, I still have very strong memories of going into a newsagent's in Douglas Shopping Centre of old and knowing that the only bit I wanted to see in that shop was the selection of dinkies. Everybody has a bit of a shop that they like the most. What's the bit of your shop you like the most?
I love stationery, gifts and stationery, like the hot air balloon. My mother was like, hot air balloons in a bookshop, and I was like, oh Mom, I love them. So
I want one. I now want the hot air balloon.
yeah,
I've
and like
it.
some of them, like that's the medium size. The big one is like way bigger, and I was like, God, we're never going to be able to sell these. Like they're 110 euros, and they're the ones that sell the most.
Yeah.
So it's things that you wouldn't. Because it is such a big shop, you have a chance to try out different products, and like the person we have buying books, I don't have to worry about the books because I know that's looked after.
What's the website address if people want to look it up?
phillipsbookshop.com.
phillipsbookshop.com. June O'Flynn, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. That's it for this week's episode of Red Business in Focus. Join us next week. We'll be joined by Damien MacDonald, who is the owner of Ireland's leading cryogenic cleaning company. It's called Polar Ice Tech, and we're going to chat to him about how he has gained global recognition amongst some of their biggest customers. He's also going to talk about his experience on the Green for Micro and Lean for Micro programs with the local enterprise office. We'll see you next week on Red Business in Focus, with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices.